Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom stream, week 10, day 6. So today of course we still got a vault event, so going to be focusing primarily on that vault event, currently at 11 vault keys. Oddly enough, our most recent tribute brought us exactly to the 25,000 gem mark, so that's pretty funny. But so yeah, we got that one goal done. I did have like an indirect goal from getting enough gnomes to actually reach that. Of course, it came mostly from tribute, but some of that did technically come from gnomes. We've still been Kakarot right now, just because pure purple trait stones have been our lowest. We're currently obviously leveling Sunspear. Recently got this to level 70. Goal is to get this to higher than 70. And basically just trying to make that the next hero class we level out. We are getting pretty close to maxed out on hero classes. By close, I mean kind of close. I think we have 8 hero classes left. Most of which are beyond level 70. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a little bit far away. 5, 6, 7. And only 2 of those 7 are low. And the other 5, they're pretty much each halfway. So it's almost like 2.5 because they're so close to half. So we are getting pretty close. Unfortunately, that's still a lot of time. The amount of time it takes to grind those out is around, what would that be, like 4.5 hero classes then? So that's, yeah, a little over 100 hours then to be able to get them maxed. But we're getting there, slowly but surely, chipping at them. But, yeah, got to get them done eventually. So let's get more grind onto them. And, of course, we still need to go do some of our dailies. Why is controller not working? I have it plugged in. Is it not plugged in all the way? Apparently not. Controller, what are you doing? Let's see, is the controller working now? Hello, controller, do you want to work? There we go. Hello? There we go. That was weird. Technical difficulties. But hello, everyone. Hello, Oliver. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Captain. Hello, Steve. Hello, James. Hello, Matt. And hello, Super Scott. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, we finally got gems back to 25k. And by back to 25k, that's going to last for like 1 week. Because next Friday, of course, is new faction. And that is going to burn through like 2,000 gems, if not more. So, rip gems as soon as that comes. Unfortunately. All the gems that we're about to gain are going to go right out the window when we go do that pure faction. But it's going to be worth it at least. We'll get another maxed out pet. And by another maxed out pet, I kind of mean another maxed out pet. We need so much more pet food. I haven't really been getting as many pets because almost no one in my guild is doing PvP. I assume almost everyone just goes for Explore. That being said, let's go do our dailies and go do some PvP to try to get a pet gnome. Because we haven't really been getting that many pets, so getting another one would be quite convenient. Let's go do some of our dailies and then go and just spam a little bit of PvP. As long as we win once every minute, it wouldn't be too bad. Our gnome rate will definitely go down. But at least we'll be getting a lot of other resources while doing so, and chance of pet gnome, which we normally wouldn't have. Pet gnome is only in arena and PvP are the only 2 locations where you'd be able to find that one specifically. What was I about to go do? I need to go and switch to Explore Team. Wait, I was already on Explore Team. I don't need to do anything then. Just use the team. It can one-shot everything in common and rare. And it can one-shot everything in ultra rare except the last battle, in which you will have to double cast on. But that's fine. Gnome and class farming has you at a high character level. Yeah, it does give you a lot of XP, that is for sure. And it's generally the best time to do it is during gnome events. Oh yeah, so you can get a gnome during these things. People have been mentioning that. That's actually the first one we've seen so far. Gnome during a, what's it called? During a adventure board. Yeah, it is possible. And they count as 2 XP, so they're even better than pet battles. I keep kind of comparing them to that. Well, obviously they're better than pet battles in almost every single way. And that's just yet another one. Is gnomes actually appear here, whereas gnomes do not appear in pets. Yep, that's not what I want. And we split kill it. Okay, all these are just going to be super ridiculously quick EXP. They die as quickly as Explore, even quicker theoretically, since they have lower stats. And they just give us the... oh, I should probably be using Leprechaun for this, though. But they die just as quick, and they give 2 EXP instead of 1, so really, really nice. Fortunately, it's a really limited number. You only get around 9 to 10 per day, depending on what rarities you get. I guess theoretically you could actually get 12 battles if you got Legendary Plus for every rarity. Because Legendary and Mythic rarity has 4 battles. I believe Epic has 3 as well. Or actually, I forget, is Epic 3 or 4 battles? Epic might be 4 as well. I know for sure that Ultra Rare and Below are 3 battles. So I guess the lower 3 are 3 battles and the higher 3 are 4 battles. And this was the one battle that would take more damage. And by more damage, I mean basically no more damage. That died so quickly. There we go. Claim all of our free XP there and some other loot that was kind of useless. Actually, that was some really bad loot for today. For that adventure board. We got, Glory, Souls, and Glory. That is super bad. The only thing that could have been worse is all 3 of these were common. And it was Glory, Souls, and Gold or something. I'm pretty sure it's a common Gold. That is abysmally bad. But anyways, next thing, this is clear out dungeons real quick. Also another free quick 6 EXP. Where's my key team? Key! Oh, I'm still using Warlord on this? How is that possible? Apparently I haven't used key team for anything all day. Or at least if I have been, I forgot to switch to Hero Glass. But there we go. Red Storm actually helps us a little bit because it makes it really easy for Egg Thief to gain all of our mana back. Also, it makes sure we have a Storm, and this team does like having a Storm, as it just makes extra turn off for her easier in general. Well, specifically Red Storm, it'll make sure she'll gain all of her mana, so she'll always have a cast. Only problem is, she has to actually cast first, in order for that to happen. There we go. And now she should just be perpetual full mana the entire time. There we go. And of course, can't pass out on our diamonds. I think we have enough to craft like 13 mythics at this point. We have so many diamonds and nothing to use them on. The only thing they've recently added to the game that requires diamonds are all the old event weapons. But I already have all of them, so I don't even need to spend it for that. The only gold sync they even added in like the last year I don't even need to do. Because I already have all of it. I meant diamond sync, not gold sync. Did I say gold sync? I meant to say diamond sync. But the only diamond sync they added in the last year or so, I don't even need, because I already have them all. Well, maybe eventually they'll give something to use diamonds on. That, or I'm going to be able to that, or I'll just like start getting a second, third copy of every mythic, or maybe once like a really good mythic comes around that actually is useful in multiple copies, we can just stock up. Or who knows, maybe they'll add a rarity above mythic, which they've kind of hinted at in the past, and maybe it'll cost like 10,000 diamonds or something. Though those would likely be obtained by other means other than diamonds. So who knows, maybe they would make one diamond related one just to sync diamonds. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, that's that. Let's go and... but yeah, how many... Now that I say that, how many diamonds do we actually have? I'm kind of curious now. We have whatever that number is plus that number. Divided by 4. What does that come out to? It's like around 50,000, but I still want to get the exact number. Let's see, plus 3770. It is 50,475 divided by 4,000, and that comes out to 12.6 mythics. So yeah, we almost have 13 mythics. That is a lot of mythics. I believe the number here just shows 11, but obviously we could just transform them all into diamonds if we want. Anyways, that's a whole year's worth of mythics. Let's go do some PvP now. I want to go get a gnome, a pet gnome. So let's go and just obliterate PvP with the attack spam team that we've been messing around with recently. It is Web Spinner week after all, or the week that it's available. Don't forget, you can still get Web Spinner right now. Web Spinner is in the event key drop table right now as we speak. Highly advised to go get. They can do stuff like this. What do we go for here? Try for double skull, didn't get it. Won't matter much though. Won't really matter much at all. Oh, well, there's a pet. Well, never mind. Well, we're done with PvP grinds. Well, apparently someone got a pet. Perfect timing. Well, let's go rush down PvP. Where's my notepad? Notepad, save us. Give us the right teams. Where was I? PvP. That's not what I want. Games. Bring the timer up. Go to pets. Get a fight. Change to the actual right team that I want. Manage team. Paste team. All good. And there we go. There's our timer. Time to time things. Let's go. And let's see how we do with it. Nice little cascade. Oh, why are you not clicking? There we go. Copy the team in a loading screen. Gotta use those loading screens. Yep, that's a fail. Not gonna waste that much time though. Yep, that's not what I want. Alternative methods. Okay, let's grab all that. Get red into green. Actually, green to red. Hey, it actually did work out perfectly. I did that because of Red Storm. We had a higher chance of actually gaining it compared to if we were to do it the other way around. Because obviously Red Storm makes a higher chance of gaining reds. That's actually kind of funny. Every single drop that dropped there was a red. So only expecting to get a few, but I'll take it. Oh, you just got a web spinner? Nice. Yeah, definitely a great troop to have around, that's for sure. It's one of the better troops in the game right now. Ever since they buffed it several months back, it's just been insane. Okay, I was gonna say, well, that almost looked like it wasn't enough damage. Luckily it was. There we go. Did we have another battle? Was this 5 or 6? 5. Okay, we do one more. And then we switch over our team. That means we need to make sure we get max gold before we cast. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough damage. So I'm definitely going to need Egg Thief as quickly as possible. Well, that works. Good. Get the max gold. Get our double. Nice. And another double. I love pasting teams so much. Honestly, that's probably the best feature they'll add all year. I'm not sure how they're going to top that, to be honest. The whole paste team function thing. It is such a great addition to the game. I didn't know how badly I needed that until it was actually added to the game. Oh yeah, you have a web. I mean, you have immunity, don't you? Whatever it's called. He has impervious, so he can't be hit by web. Alright, we're actually on pace for under 4 minutes. I've gotten under 4 minutes before a couple times. This one we definitely need Stargazer for. Especially since the final one will survive. Ooh, that's not good. We don't have alignment, do we? That's also not good. That's also not good. I'm just gonna have to give him a poke. Ooh, that's a dangerous poke though. I guess I give it to him. As long as we win right now, we're fine. Okay, I have to win right now or we lose. That's not possible. Well, at least he can't get a skull. Okay, we should be fine. No skull, right? No skull. Oh, I see, yeah, that one. Ah, oh, he died. No! I needed that. Well, here, have some pokes. Those poke you twice. Or not. Well, that backfired slightly. I guess we'll just take a red and convert greens if he lets us. Do we even have alignment on that? Kind of. It's not really worth going for. It's still not worth going for. Let's take the skull. And he's dead. Ah, you ruined our 4 minutes. You spoiled it. Yeah, it's like 4 minutes 30, which seems to be what it keeps hitting around, is 4 minutes 30 seconds. So it's like 30 seconds quicker than if you were to just run like the same team the entire time. Which isn't really much of a time save, but oh well. That's including the switch time though, like the actual time it takes to switch each one. So really it's not that bad. Anyways, that's that. Let's go do, oh wait, let me go claim the pets. Did I not even claim them? Gotta go claim them. There we go. A lot of color food. We got like no white pet food at all. Though, as long as we're getting color pet food, that is fine too. Of course, it's restricted just to that specific color of pet. Which reminds me, what color do you use? Yellow. Let me go convert everything that has yellow. Because I believe that's my only upgradable pet, right? Yes. So let me go convert everything that's yellow into food. What am I looking for? I'm looking for rarity. Yellow. Excuse me. And we have 0. Why are we getting no yellow pets? No wonder why this thing is not leveled. Where are all of our yellow pets? We haven't been getting any. At all. Or at least none that we already have copies of. That would explain why we have literally 3 yellow pet food. Look at that, we have like stacks of every single color except yellow. Poor yellow. That would explain why he's not leveled. Anyways, that's that. On to other things, which I guess is explore now, because I was going to go do a little bit of PvP because we didn't have a pet, but we kind of have a pet active now, so we don't need to do that anymore. So we'll just go run normal explore team with the Sunbird and all that. Hello, William! Also, I don't need a timer anymore. Let me get rid of that. Also, I still need to cover a video on that, too. Let's throw a Firebird at him. Hello, Corn. Hello, Bogdan. Welcome, welcome. Is it worth crafting pet food? No. I have before, but it's not worth it. It is extremely expensive to buy pet food. How's the grind? How's the grind on gems, or how's the grind in general? The grind on gems, we actually hit 25,000 exactly on the dot, which is pretty funny. And we're still exactly on 25,000, at least until our tribute or until a gnome drop gives us otherwise. Yeah, the grind's been going okay. We're at 11 Volkies. Decent amount of 1,000 glory drops off of glory gnomes. Haven't been keeping track of the exact amount, but I want to say we're at about 9 or 10 this weekend. Which is relevant, because that's the best non-Volkey drop that any gnome has. Yeah, it's 1,000... It's 1,000 souls... 100 of a certain specific color jewel, and I think one other thing in order to craft pet food. It is insanely expensive. If you compare it to troops, it costs, I believe, over 100,000 souls to max level a pet, whereas the average troop takes around like 7,000 or so, all the way from level 1 to 20. Whereas the average pet takes over 100,000, if you were to do it with pet food, specifically. How's he not dead? How are you not dead? There we go. But yeah, they didn't quite fully think through the whole pet food thing when they added it. As far as how much it costs. I think they were like going for, hey, let's make this into a soul sink. But they made it so expensive that no one sinks their souls into it. Same thing ended up happening with ingots. It is so ridiculously expensive to upgrade common and rare ingots that no one really does it. Just because it costs way too many souls. which makes it so counterproductive because they add it to be a soul sink, but then make it so expensive that it's not worth doing, and then no one actually does it to soul sink. Though there is one thing that if they did make expensive, people would do it, and that is if they allowed you to upgrade Underworld Treasure with souls. That people would actually do, because it would save you gold. A lot of gold. Like a ridiculous amount of gold, depending on how they specifically implement it. Because upgrading pets doesn't actually save you anything. Same as upgrading ingots. But upgrading treasure in the Underworld would actually save you gold. Even if it costs you something like souls. But at least you're directly saving something. Yeah, I've been hoarding all my colored jewels in case they get something else for it. The only thing they've added recently for it is you can craft all the old weapons with it. That's the only thing they've added in recent time that you can also use jewels for. There's really only 3 things. Old event weapons, or just weapons in general. Those little random color troop things, but you don't really need them because they're only epic rarity or below. And pet food. Those are the only 3 things you could use them on. Weapons, pet food, and those little troop random thingies that drop come into an epic troop. Oh, and you can also get them for Celestials, though I don't think it's ever worth using them for Celestials. Unless you just desperately needed like 1 Celestial or 2 Celestials or something. Otherwise, you're better off just grinding them. I believe 150 of each equals 1 Celestial, or 200 of each or something. It's a little pricey, but each one could theoretically save you 30 minutes of grinding. So if you only needed a few, it could maybe be worth it. But if you needed like dozens, you might as well just grind it out. Actually, now I want to know, how much does it cost? Let me go check real quick. Game, Soulforge. Trade stones. It costs 100 of each. That's, I guess, not too bad. Still a little pricey for just 1 Celestial. That saves like 30 minutes. Compared to grinding it out. And then there's these color things. And then there's all the weapons in the game. Or most of the weapons in the game. And the only other thing is extremely overpriced pet food. Oh, it was only souls. There was another thing. Still pretty expensive though. 125 plus. Let's see, how many yellow pet food could I craft? 137 yellow. That is quite literally only enough to upgrade 1 pet. This is. Just put that into perspective for a second. How badly they made this system. That amount of yellow right there is basically every yellow jewel since Soulforge has existed for, what is that, like a year and a half now? And it is enough pet food to craft 1 1/3 pets to max level in order to feed them. That is extremely bad exchange rate. Because I think a normal pet takes like 100 something, like the low hundreds. I'm actually not sure. But it's somewhere around 100. And this is all the yellows that has pretty much existed since the start of the game, or since, you know, the resource has existed. And it's enough to only do like 1 pet pretty much. That is how bad the exchange rate is on them. But yeah, that's that. Anyways, where were we? Explore. To put in perspective, within that time, we've gotten enough diamonds to craft over 12 mythics. Let's see. Let's throw a fire bomb down. Plus, it actually costs you souls. It's not even just giving it to you. You just have to sink souls into it as well in order to do it. Yeah, it would have to cost at most 50, like 500 souls and 50 of the color for it to be worth it. And ideally 25, but they'd most likely make it. I highly doubt they would go much lower than 50 on it. Definitely has to be slightly lower than half the current cost. It's weird how they made the epic ingots the hardest to get. Yes, that is also kind of weird. The main thing that made that happen is they added legendary and mythic ingots to delves, but they didn't add epic ones. If they would have, epics wouldn't even be in question. But because they omitted it from delves, they're kind of elusive. And it's not worth upgrading the smaller ones into it because it costs quite literally millions of souls to do so. That's one thing I didn't go show real quick. But to upgrade all my commons to rares, and it's not even the whole process, but I think that's around like 50,000 souls. Then you have to upgrade all those rares to ultra rare, and you have to upgrade all those ultra rares to epic. And every single one of those transitions costs 100 per 10. So to get our current stack of all of our things up, it would cost around, let's see, where is it? Let's see. So it would cost 81,200. And let's see. Actually, let's go get the exact math on this real quick. Let's see. Let's keep track of this. 81. Let's see. 81,200. Let's see. What's the soul cost to get all this up? And with that, we'd have 812, which would mean we have enough to do another 81, which would bring that to 9,500. And okay, so based on that, it looks like it would cost us around 93,000 souls or so. Somewhere's around there. So in order to get all these and all the current trait stones we have of all these smaller ones, it would cost us around... or sorry, did I say 80? I meant 93,000 souls. And with those 93,000 souls, all we would get is 93 epic ingots from doing that. Oh, there is one transition I can do here. Ultra rare into... Actually, technically, ultra rare into, or rares into ultra rare, and then ultra rare into epics are worth it. Just doing the common one is just way too many souls, as you can tell by the 81,200 number. Plus, we'd still have to transition it upwards beyond that as well. Anyways, I'll get all that converted. Get our ultra rares, get our epics, and there we go. Only 15 more, and we still need 1.5 billion more now. We already got all the mythics down. The only problem now is getting all the legends and epics. I think we still need around 2,000 more legendary or so. Somewhere around 2,000 to 2,300 is how many I need. And we need like an infinite amount more epics. I don't even want to know the number. I currently only have 544. Actually, let's go upgrade a few epic weapons real quick. What am I looking for? Let's do it by rarity. Let's go upgrade some weapons that we're never going to use ever, real quick. That we might need for kingdom upgrades eventually. So I'm never going to use Cane Sword. Knights I never foresee being viable ever in the history of ever. Let's see. Well, actually, they do have some instances where they're not horrific. Crystal Point, I don't foresee myself using Silverglade. There's just not enough synergy there. There's a few good troops, but some of these aren't even that bad as far as the effects they give. They just don't have any synergy. Just trying to not upgrade something we might actually need. That might need to deliberately stay at a lower level. This we can upgrade. We're never going to bother using that. Flesh Ripper. This is actually worth upgrading if it got anything good. Not really, but it doesn't gain anything bad, so I guess I'll go for it. As long as it doesn't get a negative effect. That one apparently does, as they only gave it +7. What's Fire? Oh yeah, duh. Fire and Ice has 2 destroys. It's not worth it. Fiery Claw is a useless weapon. Even if it gets something bad, it's fine. Because we're never going to use it. Golden thing we're never going to use. It's a gold weapon. And there are so many other ways to gain gold. Hammer of Risquea is useless, but might as well go get it maxed. Max all the things! Let's see. Ice Aegis, what is this? Freeze all enemies and barrier all allies. If the enemy's a boss. Oh, never mind. That's kind of a pointless condition. It's almost never going to happen. Apparently Ice Arrow has something bad on it, or does it? Oh, yeah, it destroys a green. Actually destroys 4 random greens. That's not bad. That's actually an okay amount destroyed to the point that it's not horrible. Destroying just 1 would be kind of meh. But destroying 4 is actually a little bit less so. Imperial Jewel you deliberately want to keep at 5. Otherwise it gets weaker. And I don't even believe it has any negative perks. The reason why it gets weaker is anytime you upgrade a weapon, it takes about 1 second longer to do all the extra effects that it has. So every single time you cast it, it'll take slightly longer. This is normally worth it on a lot of weapons because you're actually using those benefits and they're actually very useful. However, on some weapons, where you're not really using any of those benefits, it's just overall making it way slower for no real benefit. And you should avoid that. Oh yeah, this has a random destroyer brown that can get in the way. Why, I do not know, but it does, and it makes the weapon bad if you get it. Destroy a random purple gem. That's bad. And it creates a random skull. Why do you have to do so? Well, actually, creating a random skull on this weapon isn't too bad. Because if it gets a kill, it has a thing. But still, that's, why must they make so many weapons bad? Or make them worse by doing things. This one will get worse, but it's already such an abysmal weapon that it won't matter. This weapon used to be insanely good. It used to gain an extra turn and create some skulls, but then they made it summon a Revenant and not have an extra turn anymore, which made it 100% useless. At one point, it was one of the best weapons in the game, but because it was one of the best weapons in the game, they nerfed it into almost nothing. You know, I might be actually closer to maxing everything than I thought. Sure feels like it with how many we're actually able to upgrade. I keep forgetting that we're constantly gaining legendary ingots. And we gain legendary ingots at a quicker rate than which weapons come into the game. And a lot of these are actually becoming weaker weapons, but still getting them upgraded nonetheless. Because we're never going to use them ever, because they're already useless to begin with. Okay, this one is actually a good weapon. So, does it have anything that could interrupt it? Yes. Okay, so let me just do this to +5. Because that one might actually be good after they do the buff to Wild Plains. Because it's a Wild Plain weapon that is boosted by Wild Plains troops. So it could theoretically be good. Runic Blade's actually really, really horrific outside of Arena. In Arena, it's really good. Outside of Arena, it's, yeah, pretty much nothing. That'll make the weapon weaker, but oh well, it's useless already anyways. Sugar's Heart. Actually a weapon that isn't horrifically bad. There just really isn't any application for it. It's also just relatively average. It's not bad, but average normally doesn't get you too far either. Sleigh Bells. This at one point was actually a really good weapon. And by one point, I mean like 3 years ago when it was added or something. It was a long while ago. Wait, does that gain souls on top of the fact it gains souls? That is funny. It gains 4 souls and then 10 souls. So it gains 14 souls per cast now. Spark rockets. Da 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 da. I wonder when that thing was added. Haha. Yeah, that was New Year's 2016. As you can kind of tell by the weapon name. But yeah, we're actually a bit closer to maxing all legendary weapons than I thought. I forgot how many we've been getting recently. Yeah, not too bad at all. Too bad there wasn't an easy way to see how many more weapons you still need to go upgrade. I think there actually is, I need to go double check that. Does anyone know if, Gems of War database has, Oh wait, why did I upgrade that? Well, this is a pretty useless weapon anyways. But, that just got weaker. Oh well. Upgrade them anyways. It's a weapon that we're almost never going to use because you just use Dawnbringer instead. There are some very, 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 very occasional instances where you actually do use Summer's Fury, though. And now I just made it weaker. Oh well. They'll be changing that in the future to get rid of most of those weaker perk things. Hopefully sometime soon. Because so many weapons still have them. I like how all they did was remove all the explode ones and change those out. However, the explode ones were actually good on a lot of weapons. It was the destroy and create a gem ones that were really bad. Let's see. Yeah, and that's the end of the line as far as weapons, pretty much. Why did I not have this thing already upgraded? Actually has some pretty decent benefits, too. Guessman's Chalice is still one of those, like, decent old event weapons. But you know what? We actually are pretty close to maxing all legendary weapons. We might even only be 1,000 off. Keep saying like 2,000 plus, but it might be actually closer than that. Here's what, we need 45 each per weapon. Still have a little over 1,000 left. There are some weapons that would never upgrade under any circumstance, though, like Mang. Let's see. Yeah, we might need to go do a quick count, since we seem to be counting a lot of things. And we're doing all the math this stream. But I might need to go see how many more legendary ingots we actually need. Because it looks like we're getting really close. I guess all these level 500 peer factions I keep doing is giving us a ridiculously huge amount of trait stones. Like, I've been really underestimating how much it's been giving. You know what, I'm going to upgrade some of these useless weapons. I'm sorry. I'm making you weaker, Sun and Moon. We're probably never using you anyways. Spiked Mace, Groshnox are never going to be good. What do you have that makes you bad? Nothing. Why did I not upgrade it? I guess it destroys random skulls. Is the reason why you wouldn't want to upgrade it, but oh well. Let's see. Yeah, we might actually be pretty close. What other things are here? Would I ever use this bow? It's Divinian Fields. Divinian Fields is very rarely going to be good. Why do you create one green and destroy 3 greens? I am not upgrading you. Why do they do this? Oh well, when are we ever going to use this weapon? Let's see. Urskea could theoretically be good. And again, another useless destroy on it. And a useless create a Doom Skull. It destroys a color that it creates. Why? Why would you do this? What logical reason would you put that perk onto a weapon? Let's see. Primal Axe I'm definitely not going to upgrade just because that could theoretically actually be really good with Ketris eventually. I guess Morthani Scythe. I'm never going to use this weapon. And the benefit that it gets actually is somewhat beneficial if you actually get a kill. Mechs I do not foresee actually being viable. They have a while to go before they ever become viable. Mang, you definitely need to never upgrade. Elementals could theoretically be good. What's so bad about this? I guess the create a Doomstorm is the thing in question here. Why not? Play it on the edge. We'll go with the Doomstorm, why not? That might ruin the weapon, but it'll be fun to see it create a Doomstorm. Let's see. Yeah, we're actually relatively close now. We are very, very close. Shentang is never going to be good. They would need almost a whole overhaul of that kingdom before that can actually have synergy with itself. We're almost out of ingots now. I want to save at least enough to upgrade, I guess, 10 weapons. Don't want to go too low on it. What else? What else? And make sure I don't accidentally upgrade a weapon that's actually good at a lower level. We'll just upgrade this. You always use Dawnbringer instead. It does make the weapon weaker, though. It's so weird that you have to actually guess on if it's going to make a... Or you have to actually, like, check to see if it's going to make the weapon weaker. I'm just going to max this out, even though it becomes weaker. Let's see. Earth's Fury. You're kind of like Mang. Why do we not have you? Oh, because you destroy one brown. Why you gotta do that? Though it does have Enrage and stuff, so it might be worth it for the one destroy. Because Enrage is pretty useful. But you're most likely going to be using it with Titan or something anyway, so you already have Enrage, most likely. Naga allies are almost never going to be used. What do you have that's bad? Oh, why didn't we upgrade it? It doesn't have anything bad. Might slow it down, I guess, slightly, but... You know what? I think we actually have enough to upgrade all weapons right now. I didn't realize that. Well, we're done with maxing all legendary weapons. Yay. That was not something I was expecting to do this stream. I was kind of seeing how many more we needed. But I have maxed every legend weapon in the game now. Except for the ones that we can never max because we can never max them. Let's see, what's Monster Ally 1? It becomes weaker, but oh well. We came this far, we might as well keep going. Unless it's like a really core weapon. So the only thing we didn't upgrade then is what, Mang? I think it's quite literally the only thing. Mang and Earth's Fury. I guess we'll go upgrade Earth's Fury. We came this far. Why stop now? Also didn't do Dark Shot, but that's fine. That's a useless weapon that's never going to be used anyways. Let's make it even more useless. So what weapon haven't we done yet? Mang? Is that it? Is that the only one left? I think Earth's Fury as well. I'll go upgrade Earth's Fury. The Enrage might be okay. For one brown destroy, I guess it's a good enough trade-off. Oh, and Imperial Jewel I'm never going to upgrade. It slows it down. Mang and Imperial Jewel are the only two I'll never upgrade. Unless we absolutely have to. Because they both get weaker from being upgraded. And they're both weapons we use a lot. But there we go, yeah, we have every legendary weapon upgraded. Except for the only two that we're deliberately not keeping upgraded. Because they get weaker. Well, there we go, now we just need 1 billion epic ingots. So that answers that question. That went on for a while. But, there we go. Anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for anything we don't have upgraded. Wish there was an easy way to check, but I believe it was Earth's Fury, right? I don't recall upgrading Earth's Fury yet. There it is. Sorry, Earth's Fury, I'm buff nerfing you. Here you go. You have Enrage now, but you destroy a useless brown now. Which could backfire. Okay, there we go. We got every legend weapon upgraded now. With the only exceptions being Earth's Fury, being Mang and Prismatic Orb. Which both get weaker. Okay. And now we have like 1 billion epic weapons to do. This one I won't actually upgrade. Let's just check a quick count on it though. You need 36. What's 554 divided by 36? 544 divided by 36. That's 15 weapons upgraded. Count away 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now we count how many aren't upgraded. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28. 28 times, what was it again, 36? 36 equals, we need 1,008 more epic ingots, and then we're done with every single ingot in the game. Yeah, we need 108. 1,008, I mean. I wish it was only 108. And to buy that, that would cost $100, which obviously we are not doing. But if we wanted to, we could instantly have that with $100, which we're never going to click. It is actually not too bad of an offer, but it's only not too bad of an offer because the economy of the game makes it so it's a good offer. Otherwise, it would be a horrifically bad offer. Like, if that said 25 legendary ingots, which is basically what that would upgrade into, no one would ever buy it. But because it's epics and because of how the economy's set up, it's somewhat worth it. But yeah, $100 would max out every weapon in the game at this point. But we will do it manually. They will be adding more ways to get epic ingots into the future. Like Salty Stream, she's been actually giving out a code almost every stream where she gives out like 5 epic ingots normally. Which is actually, it's kind of funny, because that code on a given week is more epic ingots than you would naturally earn through the game by playing it normally, which is excessively sad, unless you play a lot of PvP. But anyways, that's that. So that's the verdict now. The only thing we still have to go do now is 1,008 more epic ingots, and then we'll have every weapon maxed in the game, except for the only 2 that we deliberately keep unmaxed because they're better left unmaxed. And that being Mang and Prismatic. Or not Prismatic, I keep calling it Prismatic. Imperial Jewel, I mean. This is why we keep Imperial Jewel unupgraded. You don't really get to see it much, but it has around a half a second to a second delay if you upgrade it past 5. And while that's relatively trivial, in a battle that takes 15 seconds, that is a lot of time. Of course, this battle goes a bit slower. Let's see. What's all the Weaver? Oh, yeah, duh. We already know why there's so many Weavers. We answered that earlier. It's because of, it's a Zolkiri event. Did he really almost kill my web spinner? I mean, my Sunbird. I was just saying how my Sunbird has never died. Actually, theoretically, it dies every battle. Haha! But, you know, I mean, like, never died by actual damage. But he almost got us with that web spinner. I missed one? What weapon did I miss? Which weapon did I miss? I missed Primal Axe. Whoops, let me go get it then. We can't leave any untouched. Let me see. We went this far with it, might as well go all the way. Weapon. Oh, you're right. I did forget Primal Axe. Oh, I deliberately didn't do Primal Axe. Yeah, that's another one I'm deliberately keeping unupgraded. They're buffing Wild Plains. So I guess we have 3 weapons not upgraded. I did that deliberately. It's because Wild's Plain is getting a buff anytime from 1 month to now to like 9 months ago. Or from now. And I say about 9 months because they said the same thing around this time last year. That in like a month or so they would like buff Pan's Veil. That buff didn't come till like March of next year. So expect the buff for Wild Plains at around like April of next year. Even though they said it could be in like a month. But yeah, Wild Plains is planned to get completely reworked and buffed. And given that it has Ketris and Shaman Hero class, it could theoretically be really good. And that weapon is going to be good with it. And that weapon gets weaker if you upgrade it. So I am holding out on not upgrading that one. Because it might become meta in about whenever Wild Plains gets buffed. What's the buff for Wild Plains? We have no clue what the buff for Wild Plains is. We just know it's getting reworked. And reworked towards the direction of being buffed. Ketris is likely not getting any buff. He's already insanely good. But the things within the kingdom likely will be. Which would technically make Ketris better, because you can then use him with 4 times Taurus with Shaman Hero class. With that weapon. Because all Tauruses pretty much are from that kingdom. Yeah, that weapon is pretty much dead content right now. But depending on how much they buff the kingdom, it might actually be one of the best weapons in the game. Whenever that buff comes around. It's going to be like what happened with Divine Protector. It was useless when it was released. And then it became the meta for several months. And while it's not meta anymore, it's still really good. And that's pretty much what's going to happen with the weapon. Like, as soon as Wild Plains buff happens, it's probably going to be really, really broken. And then it's going to be kind of average. Right now, it's just at the useless category. But yeah, now apparently we don't need legendary ingots. So now, quite literally, the only thing we need from factions are Chaos Shards. There is no drop other than Chaos Shards that we need. Too bad we couldn't crush our ingots into Chaos Shards. How does the buff to Wild Plains make the weapon better? The weapon is boosted based on how many Wild Plains troops you use. And I believe it generates red and green, which are two colors that Wild Plain needs. So if Wild Plains troops get better, the weapon gets better. It's already really good with Ketchers, it's just nothing else from the kingdom really synergizes with it. But depending on how they rebalance the kingdom, it might finally have proper synergy. Also, if we just get another event for Wild Plains, that could also happen. Actually, speaking of that, that's probably when they're planning on doing the buff. Do we know when the next Wild Plains event is happening? Because it would make sense if they would coincide the buff with a Wild Plains event week. Oh! Maybe they were right when they said it's in a month. Because the next Wild Plains event is July 29th. Wait, that's in literally a week. Well, they said a month like a month ago. So, oh, you know what? Maybe they are actually right for once. With the timing. I hope they are. But yeah, that means 2 weeks from now. Could theoretically be the Wild Plains buff. We're getting 2 new troops, if nothing else. For that kingdom. What's the change with ingots? There is no change with ingots. They're planning on a change on ingots eventually. But we don't know anything about a change about ingots. We just know that they're doing one eventually. They definitely want to add more ways to gain epic ingots. They have mentioned that before. They also said you will never be able to downgrade ingots. They also confirmed that. So never will we get a way to just get over epic ingots just by downgrading our legendary and mythic ones. But they are going to be adding methods to be able to gain more epic ingots, so it's a little bit more balanced. Because obviously it's excessively hard to obtain currently. It's easier to obtain one of every ingot, other than epic, simultaneously, you know, like getting one of each of those, than it is just to get one single epic ingot. We'll go for that one. Oh, that's not mana anymore. What's the highest glory drop from Glory Gnome? 1,000. It is extremely high. The rate of farming glory per hour when doing like actual glory farming methods is only a little over 1,000 per hour. And one single Glory Gnome basically gives you a whole hour's worth of glory, essentially. It is really, really ridiculously high. How much glory it gives. And it's the best drop currently on any gnome. With about a 45 gem equivalent. Because it's worth about 5 gem keys, and 5 gem keys is worth 45 gems. Because that's about what the drop rate of 50 glory keys would have, is 5 gem keys worth of drops. But yeah, it's the best drop that isn't a vault key. What weapons would you want to use epic ingots on? None. They're all horrifically bad. Prey Seeker, I believe, is the only epic weapon in the entire game that is not 100% useless. I can't recall another one that is actually useful. It may be Silent Knight. It has a double silence. I believe it silences first enemy and last enemy. Last enemy off the ability and first enemy off the perk. There's like a double silence for, I believe, 9 mana or something. But no, most epic weapons are completely useless because they only use one color. And they don't really have any good effects for the most part. Oh yeah, Eternal Flame isn't too bad. Yeah, at one point was the best weapon in the game until they nerfed it twice. The only problem is they nerfed it twice. If they only nerfed it once, it would probably still be used to this day. With like Yagway, Queen Titania, or something similar. But yeah, the second nerf they did was they brought its gem spawn down. Before it used to have like an infinite gem spawn, which obviously was really broken. But after they nerfed the infinite gem spawn that it used to have, because its gem spawn used to be based on magic. Quite a few things used to be based on that way back in the game, like 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. But the second nerf they did is, I believe they nerfed the gem spawn from 9 to 7. And the biggest thing they did was they increased the mana cost from, I forget if it was 4 or 6, all the way up to 7. And that might not seem like that big of a change, even if it was like a 6 to a 7 change. But that ended up hitting it a lot, because you would then have to set a banner in order to actually raise its mana up. And with the decrease to its gem spawn, it just made it a lot worse. They did add burn to make up for it, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 4 mana cost. I would need to go look up a video from ages ago to double check. Because I think it was more than just a 1 mana cost switch. Because that wouldn't have really been that big a deal if it was only 1 mana cost. So it had to have been at least a few mana cost increase. Let me see, do I have any video on Eternal Flame from ages ago? Probably not. That's a really ancient weapon. Not sure if we even had a pre-nerf of it. We definitely didn't have the pre-nerf. I know I have no footage of that for sure. When it was the most broken thing in the entire game. Back when it was actually... you know, he actually made... It was so broken, he made it so they had to change the color of, I forget his name because he's so useless in the current state of the game. Fenrir. Not Fenrir. Whatever that epic is from Pride Lands, that one human merchant guy. They actually had to change his color because the weapon was so broken. Let's see. At the time, anyways. What was I looking for? I'm looking for Eternal Flame. Where's my search bar? YouTube, why must you keep hiding stuff from me? Oh, I guess we could just do it under Video Manager. Let's see, can we find an Eternal Flame? What did it used to be? I don't think I have any footage of it. Pre-nerf. Definitely not pre-nerf. Let's see, Eternal Flame. Does that bring it up at all? Nope. 0 videos. Unless I go like all the way back and it just randomly find it in a video. But yeah, I might not have footage on it. I'm pretty sure all of the nerfs to it happened before we even started the channel. Because these nerfs, when I'm talking about nerfs, one of them was like 4 or 3.5 years ago, and the other one I think was like 3 years ago. Or maybe more towards 2.5, I'm not sure. It was a little while ago. You hate getting a Vault Key drop from Glory Gnomes? Yes. It is possible with how good the Glory Gnome drop table is that your Vault Key is actually worth less than a Glory Gnome 1000 drop. If you get less than 45 gem value from it, then yes, you theoretically could have gotten less loot. What's Cedric drop rate roughly? About 1 in 10. I don't think we know a definitive number. But from my experience, it's around 1 in 10. Vault Keys will give you a Cedric. I think it took my Nintendo Switch account around 12 to 15. Right, I know from whenever I open like dozens upon dozens of Vault Keys at a time, it seems to be around 1 in 10. And of course, it could take longer than that, but it's about that many. Good night, Medieval. Have a good weekend. Also, hello, Haley. Welcome. But I felt like half the stream we've been just going and doing math on various stuff. All of the maths. Yes, doing a vault key can give you a Cedric. Though it costs 1 vault key every single time you do the vault thingy. No, we'll be streaming for a little bit longer. I want to at least get 1 more level on this thing. Ideally, just get to 75, so we'll probably just go until we get to 75. So I haven't handed out a redeem code yet. We'll hand out a redeem code once we get another level on hero class. Then we'll go until we get level 75. And hopefully we'll get a vault key within that time. Still no vault key to stream. Though we've only been playing for like half the stream between upgrading stuff and trying to figure out math on various things. Yes, we got Warlord to level 100. Oh, nice. You only have 3 levels to go. Very nice. That's about 4... I almost said 4 hours. That's about 2 hours then. Or an hour and a half, actually. Yeah, okay, we'll grab that down, get a bird. Let's see, get that down. Is KZO exempt from gnome events? You farmed for about 45 minutes and didn't get a single gnome. Nope, it's in the gnome event. We're actually in the exact same place right now. Oh, never mind. I'm in Kakarot, not KZO. I always get confused with the 3 Ks. KZO, Kakarot, and Kedar. I'm not sure why they made them all so similar. But no, they exist. Although Volkies don't seem to right now. But yeah, the drop rate should be exactly the same for every kingdom. As far as chance of seeing gnomes. We've gotten 3 Volkies so far today. Which is relatively low, since we got 9 yesterday. We basically got triple the amount yesterday. And I farmed for almost the exact same amount of time today. Yet I got 3 times less. Though we did get excessively lucky that 1 hour. I think we got like 6 in 1 hour or something. Actually, that might have been the most Volkies I ever got in 1 hour during yesterday's stream. We got 2 quite literally back to back. 4 within like 10 minutes. And I believe it was 6 within an hour. And all 9 of those were within about an hour and a half or so. Or 8 of those were, not 9. Because I forgot we got one during the nightly stream. Is King Avalon good for farming? No. The only thing he's really good for is with Weaver. Arachnine Weaver. It's used with, or one possible team that you can use with it, is something in first slot, followed by Orb Weaver hero class, which counts as an elf. Arachnine Weaver, and the troop you just said, King Avalern. But there's not too many good elves out there. But it is good with Arachnine Weaver, and it is good with Orb Weaver hero class. To your imagination, drop rates are better on Friday. I don't know. I've had every single day give the highest rate for me personally. Except Sundays. But normally I don't grind as much on Sundays, so I wouldn't have as much data. Which would seem like why like it gives less. But no, I've had days where Friday was bad and Saturday was good. As well as days where Friday was good and Saturday was bad. This happens sometimes. We've also had days where all 3 of them were bad. We have done 0 before. in about 10 to 15 hours of grinding, getting 0 Vault keys. It's possible. It's not likely that that would happen, but it is possible that that can happen. Hey, Celestial. Another one for the pile. I think we're almost at 1,100. We probably almost have all ones on our Celestial. Actually, I should probably go check. I would want to get a screenshot of that. 1,111 Celestials. 1111. Let's see, how close are we to that? Or did we already pass it? There's a possibility we actually already passed it. I believe we're slightly below it, though. Last I checked, we were like 1,060 something, I want to say. 50 something. Ugh. Which is better to level up, Undyne or Voice of Orpheus? Undyne. Undyne is usable on Blue Guild War. Voice of Orpheus is only used as a cleanse option against silence, but there's almost no silence really used in the game currently. What am I looking for? I am looking for... How many Celestials do we have? Also, probably a New Kingdom to farm, because we're probably done with purples by now. Oh yeah, we're not there yet. 1,079. Yeah, we have 430 purple. What's our next lowest? Reds, it looks like, at 427. Anything lower than that? Nope. Just all the pure colors seem to be really low, because we keep not getting them off of weekly events. Well, we'll go to pure red, I guess. Actually, this is where the hero class is from. How fitting. Oh, that was his name. I forgot his name earlier. Finley. He used to be green-red, but they changed his color because Eternal Flame was too overpowered. I believe he's the only troop in the history of the game who got a color change because something else was so overpowered. I don't think it has ever happened in the history of the game other than with him. And now he's just completely useless. He's never used for anything. And the reason he was so strong was, obviously, Eternal Flame creates red. And Finley, at the time, was the only way you could really deal with those kind of skulls on the board, while feeding it with red mana. And you could basically infinitely loop it. The cleanse is really good. The issue with it is there's a billion other cleanses in the game, and you're only using that Mythic to cleanse. But yes, the cleanse is really good. It cleanses your entire team per yellow, I believe it is, or pure extra turn, one of the two. I think it's per pure yellow that you take, which is really good. It's just that's the only thing it really does, is cleanse. And there's other things that could do that for you. The only instance it's good is if you're up against Silence, because it's currently the only troop with Cleanse All Allies that has immune to Silence. There used to be others, but they made them all so they didn't have it. And make it so Voice of Orpheus was the only one. It's the only instance where it is really good. In every other instance, there's plenty of other troops that are better than it. Like Mercy, Apothecary, and other similar things. Actually, doesn't Apothecary have immune to Silence? No, it doesn't. It has a lot of immunes. Silence is not one of them. You're still farming in Divinian Fields. Can you get gnomes to appear in those challenges? Yes. All challenges have gnome drops. So does the quest lines, if you're still doing quest lines for any kingdom. Oh, so hello, Bakchan. Welcome. Yes, Arena has gnomes. It also has Pet Gnome. It's one of the only 2 locations that has Pet Gnome. It's PvP and Arena are the only 2 locations with Pet Gnome. But yeah, Arena has all the gnomes, including Pet. Let's take that for now. Grab the red down, take the other thing, swipe it out. Should be enough damage. Here we go. Did we ever gain that level? No, we did not. We'll hand out the code when we do. Should be pretty much right on top of it, like with the next few battles. Yeah, neither Undyne or Orpheus is good. They're both pretty far down there. Undyne is used for basically just Blue Guild War and nothing else ever. And Voice of Orpheus is just used up. There's the level. And Voice of Orpheus is only used against Silence. AoE Silence. Which there are barely any options of. I think there's only about 5 things in the game. It's like 5 to 8 or so that have 2 or more silences. It's a very, very small amount of things in the game currently with that mechanic. And that's the only thing she really counters, or he counters, I mean. Anyways, code time! I did say when we get that level, and we did just get that level. Because I highly doubt we're getting a Vault Key to stream. Let's see, where's the code go? Code. We'll go get this. And then we'll go farm one more level on this hero class. Might as well. Let's see, put that right over there. Boom, boom, boom. Put it right over there, paste it in. Copy the whole thing. And there it goes, there's the redeem code you use on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code is found underneath your settings menu. Redeem code is right over in chat right over there. Just copy and paste the random numbers and letters. And give the same thing as always, true treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. And it's usable on PC mobile version only. Consoles unfortunately cannot use it. And then to get this thing to level 75. I don't think it gains anything beneficial. Oh, yes, it does. I forgot. It has triple damage on burning. So it gains something somewhat... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Something somewhat beneficial from going all the way. Let's see. We'll go grab the purple. The only time I might bring Voice of Orpheus out against a team is if it had both, if it had Queen Mab and an Essence of Evil, it might be worth bringing it out. Like if there's like a extremely stats effect heavy, but there's very few situations where doing that would be better than just killing it with high amount of damage quickly. Because you can normally kill an Essence of Evil team before it even gets a single cast off. Unless it's putting in a really safe location like third slot, but normally it's a little bit closer to the front, like second, or even first in some situations. Oh, Volky! Hey, we actually got one. Well, there's the code. We literally just handed out a code, so hey, perfect timing for the hero level. There we go, we finally got a Volky to stream. Let's get another one. What does that bring our total to? I believe that brings us to 12 now. We've hit 12 keys. Hopefully we can hit 15 by the end of the weekend. Though my goal was just to reach 10 earlier, so hey, we already reached it. Ooh, gonna give us back-to-back Vault Keys? Well, not exactly back-to-back, but at least gnome to gnome. Come on, Vault Key, or 1,000 Glory. Either or. That is the exact opposite of those, so it's still not too bad of a drop. That's 10 Glory Keys. Which is basically like 1 gem key, which is basically like 9 gems. So even its worst drop is decent. And depending on how bad a Vault Key is, 9 gems could be worth more than a Vault Key. If you get a super unlucky Vault Key, 9 gems is better than it. But you'd have to be ultra unlucky for that to happen. A lot of Glory Gnomes all of a sudden. I don't mind though, that's the best gnome in the game. Show me anything but a 200. Yeah, there we go, 1,000. Best drop that's not a Vault Key. Oh, that was a quick 1,200 Glory. That's basically 1 whole hour's worth of Glory. Well, it definitely is, because you can normally farm about 1,100 or so Glory in an hour with optimal methods. A little bit higher than that occasionally. It's like 1,100, 1,200. So within a minute, we got an hour's worth of Glory. The power of Vault events. I'm really surprised they haven't nerfed Glory Gnome. Well, technically they did. I think, even though they never said it, Jewel Gnome was definitely added to the game for the sole purpose of nerfing Glory Gnome without actually nerfing it. I think what happened is they accidentally made Glory Gnome way too good, and instead of causing a ruckus by nerfing it, they just decided to add the worst gnome in the entire game afterwards to balance it out. That's pretty sure what happened there. Yeah, both of those have double silence. Nimi also has double silence. I believe Silent Knight weapon, which is an old event weapon, has double silence. Silent One has 4 times silence. Silent Sentinel has silence on Skull, and while that's not a multi-silence, it can be pretty annoying with how often it silences. Essence of Evil is a pretty noteworthy silence, even though it only hits one thing. It bypasses your immunities and stuff. Not with the initial cast, but after the fact, it would. Between its curse and everything. And I believe there was like 1 or 2 others. But yeah, there's not that many silences that are relevant. Or even that exist in general. Silence at one point was the most overpowered mechanic in the game. It used to be like Famine. In that not only would Silence do exactly what Silence does now, but Silence used to also have mana drain on it. So if you silence an enemy, you would drain all of their mana back in the day. That is no longer the case though. So back in the day, Silent One was basically Silent One with Famine attached to it, just with no damage. Silent One at one point was the best troop in the game. It didn't last too long though, after they nerfed Silence like 3 or 4 times. The first nerf was when they got rid of mana drain immunity on it. The second nerf was when they added troops that have immune to Silence. And the third was... Actually, was it ever nerfed again? I guess technically Bless is a nerf to it. Indirectly, though. So I guess technically 3 nerfs. Oh, there was another nerf to it. Though it was kind of indirectly. But it was to Silent One. Silent One got a nerf at one point where it silences itself. It didn't used to silence itself back in the day. But they nerfed it so it silences itself after every cast. So that it can't get a cast off as quickly. You can still go cleanse it with a cleanse and feed it right back with mana, like with Mercy or something. Or Herdmaster and similar things. However, it made it a lot less viable. Because in order to deal with that silence, you would have to use one whole other troop to get rid of it. How much glory is good amount to stack for endgame? I would say a few 100,000. You don't need to stack too much. And the only thing that you want to have reserves of glory for is if a glory troop that is added to the game is good, you would normally want to max it out. And once you reach endgame, you generally... Well, I guess if you're talking about endgame, you'd want to make sure you always have enough glory that you can max out every new troop that ever comes into the game. And that ends up burning through an average of, I believe, about, what, 10,000 glory per week? I think it might be a little bit less than that. Because the lower rarity ones don't eat up nearly as much. I guess it's around an average of about 7,000 or 8,000 glory per week. But in endgame, you want to make sure you can be able to max out every glory troop with glory upon release. Yeah, I highly doubt they're ever going to add some kind of feature that will burn through a lot of glory. But you never know. The biggest thing that burns through it currently would be the weekly event troop. And theoretically, glory keys. However, those you don't necessarily have to do. Come on, Volky. No, you want to. Nope, the exact opposite of such. You just get them because you need the arcanes. Yeah, buying the glory troops is really good for arcane trait stones. It's the quickest way to go and get those up. Because you basically have infinite of whatever the week's arcane is, assuming you have a reserve of glory. Yeah, once you stop needing arcanes, glory does become a lot less effective. Because one of the biggest things you use it for is making sure you have all the arcanes for upgrading troops. And then beyond that, you only really use it in order to make sure you have every single glory troop that ever gets released to max mythic upon release. And other than that, you never need to really spend it on anything else. It's one of the reasons why they nerfed Spoils of War. Because a lot of people were dumping all their excess glory into the event keys. You can still get 10 per week, but it is limited. Compared to the infinite you used to be able to buy per week. Who knows, we might eventually get something else that uses glory. It's been a while since we've gotten anything new that uses it. As weird as it may seem, I believe the newest thing that uses glory is Guild Wars from like almost 2 years ago. The fact that it sinks some small amount of glory to upgrade your Sentinel. And I think that's only like a few hundred. I think that's the most recent glory sync added to the game. That's how long it has been since we've gotten a glory sync. And if anything, we got an inverse glory sync when they ended up nerfing the Spoils of War. Because that was one thing that people used to sink their glory into. But now you can't anymore. So the only other thing left is really glory keys that sinks it. Let's take that for now. But I can't remember the last time I've used physical glory for glory keys. I think it's been like 2.5 years to 3 years. Just haven't needed to. Yeah, Suncrest is next week. We get a really cute griffin. Actually, both of the troop arts, I believe, are really, really nice. We're getting a nice-looking peacock, and we're getting a griffin. Yeah, both of the troops next week have insanely good troop art. Is it worth it to buy those 10 per week glory things? Yes. Assuming you have a reserve of like over 10,000 glory or more, it's probably worth it. Actually, maybe a reserve of 50,000 or more. But, yeah, it's worth it. I still get every single week, even though I don't need event keys ever. Even when I end up buying like 3,000-4,000 event keys, I still didn't even need any of those event keys. I still bought it just because I wouldn't be able to buy them into the future, in case event keys magically become useful at some point. Because once you own every legend and every mythic in the game, event keys are probably one of the most useless keys in the game. Gem keys are more useful than them, because at least those can focus down new mythics upon the day of release. Even glory keys can do that, but event keys can't. Which means in that context, the context of my usefulness for keys, a glory key is actually worth more than a event key. As sad as that may seem. Not in technicality, but you know, because obviously it's actually worth more. It's like 13.5 gems. But as far as my actual usefulness, based on my current resource reserves, a glory key would have more of an immediate need to me than a event key would. Even though it's worth around like 1/20th of an event key. Actually, probably even less than that. It's almost probably like a 100th of an event key in value. Yet it's still more valuable to what I actually need. Let's see. You just hit Sun Spirit level 96. Very nice. The grind is real. Yep, we're almost there. About an hour and a half left, and you'll get there. We're currently going to 75, which will take us probably about another, I want to say 20 minutes? Probably a little bit less than that. 15 minutes? Something's around there. Depends how much more XP we need at this point. Oh, we're getting there. And then from there, we should only need about 12 more hours or so. 12 to 13 hours. Until we get it max from 75. You saw your last opening for the mythic came from glory keys. Yeah, I believe the last mythic I did end up getting from glory keys because I ran out of gem keys. If I ran out of glory keys, I would then go into seal keys, which actually have a higher chance of getting mythics and gem keys. I just happen to always go through gem keys first because why not? Actually, there is a specific reason as to why I do that. They have ingot drops. That's the whole reason why I actually do my gem keys first. Because seal keys do not have any ingots in them. Okay, we'll take a purple right over there. Grab the yellow there. Take red. Get a sunbird. You got Champion of Guard and Seals for you. Yeah, Seal keys actually have the highest chance, second highest chance of any key to give you a mythic. Assuming you're doing level 6 Seal key. The order is VIP key, Seal keys at level 6, which is max level 40,000 seals. Then Gem key, then Glory key. That's the order in which you can get a mythic. And if you add event key to the mix, assuming you're trying to get one off of, that's specifically on that drop table. Keep in mind, new mythics are not on that drop table. But if the kingdom has a mythic, those mythics will be on that drop table. But if you compare it like that, then the order in which you have a chance of getting a mythic is VIP keys as the highest, then seal keys at level 6, 40,000 seals, and then event keys, then gem keys, then glory keys. Oh, why did I do that? I could have taken that for an extra turn, but oh well, he's dead. Haha, you're glad Gems of War run stable enough to alt-tab in and out the game while watching. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, why is it not clicking? There we go. And he's dead. There should be within about 40 EXP at this point or less. I'd even go check it in a battle or two. Actually, we'll go check it right now. Make sure to check it the correct way though, without making it lag. Let's see, how much more do we need? Yep, we're almost there. We need 18 more, right? Math correct? No, 17. 17 more. Hopefully we'll get one more VIP key within then. That'd actually be 1 per hour if we actually do get another one between then, but I highly doubt it. But if anyone has any other questions, let me know. Or anything else you want me to go over. Because I'll be ending out the stream once we get that level 75 level. Which will be in like 5 minutes, based on how many more battles we need. So now would be the perfect time for questions. Let's see. I'll go for that. Get our Sunbird. Haven't really been using him at all. He gets 5 extra glory this week. Not really worth it, given that's a gnome event. They should make a class that boosts souls. There's actually a technical issue with why they haven't done that. I forget their full explanation on it, but there's some kind of coding issue with it that will prevent them from ever adding, in the current state of the game, that would prevent them from ever adding necromancy to a hero class. It's something they might fix into the future. As it currently stands, it is something they cannot do. But yeah, it would make a lot of sense if Necromancer had necromancy. Can you get arcanes from challenges? Yes. The drop rate is lower than Explorer, but it still drops them. The drop rate's around 3 times lower than Explorer, though. I believe it's only like 1 or 2% or something. Probably 2%. Whereas in Explorer, it's around, I believe, 6 or 7%, somewhere around there. Whatever it is, it's 3 times higher in Explorer. The chance that you would get an arcane from a battle. So it would take 3 times as many challenges to get an arcane like that. So it's basically 3 times quicker in Explorer. Runics are 2 times quicker, and arcanes and celestials are 3 times quicker. Specifically in Explorer compared to any other location. Though that also means you theoretically get less minor and major trait stones from Explorer. So if you specifically need minor trait stones, you should actually probably be doing challenges, not Explore. Because you do get less minor trait stones from Explore. Because it uses it for the higher rarity trait stones. Come on, Volky, you know you want to. At least something good. For our last several battles. Come on, you know you want it. No, 6,000 gold. Well, he's inching up. He did 2,500 and 4,000 at 600. I mean, 6,000. Elspeth. I haven't been using her much lately. She's pretty decent, though. There's very few situations you'd ever use her. You would need a really high attack troop like War or Mang. In those situations, you're normally better off with other troops. And War in general, you almost never really use. It's kind of average. Actually, it's a bit below average. If they didn't buff nerf him, he'd still probably be pretty good. Not sure why they did that to him, but they got rid of his 50% chance to do armor piercing. Or, you know, to bypass their armor. Which basically allowed him to have a 50% chance of one-shotting almost anything in PvP. But they got rid of it on him. Which seemed kind of weird. Especially now that Web Spinner can quite literally one-shot everything in PvP. In most situations. There's only a few things like Impervious and like Gorgolfa that it can't actually one-shot. Oh, he's going to revive off of this. Oh, good. He didn't get the 75% chance. 4 gem keys and a level. Very nice thing to end it on. That's the best drop that he has that's not a vault key. Is 4 gem keys. Well, technically it's 3 event keys, but I don't need event keys, so 4 gem keys it is. But there we go. Sun Spirit level 75. And some gems to go with it. But anyways, guys, does anyone else have any other questions? Yeah, we're able to get 12 vault keys. Very nice. 14 from the event. Arcane Tradestone drop rate is 5.5 in Explorer and 1.5 everywhere else from the dev stream. That sounds about right. Did it used to be 9% in Explorer? I don't believe it was ever that high. The rate I used to say was 1 in 16. What is 5.5? But I know it was around 1 in 16 at one point in the game. Wait, how do you do the math for that? I actually forget. Hold up. How do you do the math to figure out... Oh yeah, you would just divide it into it, wouldn't you? Never mind. Duh. That's 1 in 18 if it's 5.5. Yeah, I could have sworn it was 1 in 16 at one point. Yeah, 1 in 18 sounds about right, still. Somewhere around there. Wait, is that 1 in 16? I might have did math wrong then. Yeah, I know at one point it was 1 in 16. Or really close to that drop rate. For Explorer. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for now. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekends. I'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 2 hours prior to now. We'll be going over next week's event and just kind of chilling, getting some more gnome grinding done and all that good stuff. Don't forget, next Friday we have a faction event. The faction troops are pretty useless, however, new faction to grind. Hopefully it has a good layout, who knows, maybe we'll have some decent treasure and stuff inside. So we'll be able to run through that. Other than that, next week's events, I forget if the next week's troops were actually decent or not. I only looked at their troop art. The troop art distracted me to see if the troops were actually good, but we'll go over that tomorrow and see if they're any good. I think they were kind of average, but we'll find out. And let's see. So we know what next week's arcanes are, knowing the troops come out. Yes, next week's arcanes are, where are they each? Is what you'll be able to get. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful week. And have a wonderful night, and hope you all have the best of luck with finding more gnomes. Don't forget, you still be able to for the next day or so, 1 day and 6 hours or so. You still have left on the, actually 1 day and 5 hours and 12 minutes is how much time you have left to go and do the gnome event if you still want to go grind out some vault keys. And best of luck if you do so. See all you later, and I'll catch all of you later. Goodbye, everyone.